Now, I speaking from experience. Really young, was only 16. I was the village queen.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And the time here in SVJ is 7:45, and that means it's time for us to have our commentary from Mr. Kingsley DeFreitas. Kingsley, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. I want to ask you something. Did you listen to Dr. Rav Gonsalves' presentation last night?
No, I actually didn't.
You missed a treat of your life.
What did I miss, Kingsley?
Just a lot. I was listening to another radio station yesterday morning, and I heard Dr. Keyshawn Shallow, who is president of West Indies Cricket, speaking about the presentation of what is going to take place in terms of exhibition cricket in sometime next month or month after. I get the impression, listening to Carlos James, he's supporting it because he's going to amplify his position as candidate for the ULP. I listened to Dr. Keyshawn Shallow respond yesterday. Typical political response. As old people say, tread water on the whole presentation before it actually happened last night. I listened to Rav Gonsalves last night, and I am now saying that Gonsalves is really a classic when it comes to making a presentation. He spoke about the importance, he spoke about forces who are going to get there. And when I do the comparison, I come to a conclusion. Should I believe what Dr. Shallow said as a politician? And I say, no. And I listened to Rav Gonsalves last night as leader of Citizen Again, and as a politician who hoping to win back in the next election. I thought his presentation yesterday, last night, was awesome. I'm encouraging persons, if you didn't hear it, you can go to YouTube or NBC site and listen to it. I think you will come to a conclusion that in this time, we need decisive leadership, and we want to know if Friday could make that level of leadership that we so desire in 2025 and beyond. And there were two presentations made on the issue. One by Dr. Shallow yesterday morning on a particular radio station, and one by Rav Gonsalves last night at NBC Radio. If you do a comparison to the politics, you will still see that Rav Gonsalves emerged as a listener, as the person who spoke that you should have paid attention to. And I often wonder if people take Dr. Gonsalves' leadership seriously. And some people just pray for what it is, and the NDP people will say, oh, it's just another political rhetoric, and Gonsalves is just speaking because you want to captivate the audience. But if you listen to Shadow and you listen to Rav Gonsalves, and you have to choose a candidate last night, you go with Dr. Gonsalves because he's also amplifying the importance of the competition. He also amplified the importance of Carlos James, and he tried to defeat the purpose of Keyshawn Shallow. While he respects the level of education that Keyshawn Shallow has, Gonsalves made a point last night in my interpretation. You know where you are, but you know where the fuck come. So in other words, better stick with the ULP and Carlos James before you go change to Friday and Dr. Keyshawn Shallow. And that's my understanding of it. When you get a chance, Mr. Amel, try to get the Facebook presentation, listen to what Rav Gonsalves said, and you will come to a conclusion that this man has the means of development in the forefront of the people of St. Vincent. And you have a wonderful link and you're playing just land, okay?
You're playing just land. Anyway. All right, have a good one, Kingsley. All right. When Kingsley said he playing just land, a whole different sound just came through my head. All right, so we have somebody calling. Hi, Joshua, morning. Joshua for your land, morning.
Good morning, people for St. Vincent. I
like all this banter, you know. Like I say and you say back. I like that. Go ahead, Joshua.
I'm not going to call any name, but a certain individual came at me yesterday issuing divorce papers.
Mm.
All right, I'm not going to call the name.
She need a witness? She need a witness?
Maybe, well, I know you took a side with her any day. Now, let me give you the feel-good stories first. I was shocked that you guys don't know who Casper Davis is.
I don't know who a lot
Seriously,
of people
I'm shocked.
Joshua, I will tell you one thing, and I've said it before here. If you need to revoke my West Indian passport on account of something, it will be on account of cricket. All right? I don't know a thing about cricket.
Yeah, he was one of, I think, the second person. The first was Mike. Is it Mike Finley? He was to play on the West Indies team, and then Casper Davis. I think we had others before, though. Winston Davis.
There's another one, but he gone straight out my head. Nixon McLean, right?
Yeah, but in any case, this guy came to Bermuda, and he sought me out. Now I thought I was going to play host to him, and his there was a group of 6 of them. I ended up feeling really bad because they won't even let me spend a dime. We had a wonderful time, an awesome time. A very positive Vincentian. Back to back yesterday. I also hosted. Well, I hosted this one because she enjoyed me spending my money that I don't have. Not one of the best gynecologists in the United States, an offspring of a Vincentian couple, and they're doing St. Vincent proud. So I'm proud of these folks. But I was very distressed this morning listening to the lady you interviewed. No one is a law unto themselves. Where the lawyers like Joe Thomas and all those others come up and defend this woman, because as long as they have the ducks lined up in a row, whatever your name is, let me not call her names. As long as they have the ducks lined up in a row, whoever that king of the or queen of the garbage pile thinks she is, she should be made to pay, as long as they have legal signed documents. No one has the right to do that. And I'm very, very, very distressed. And this is why folks get mad at me, because I say it like it is. I don't know who that woman is. But if they've got to start a GoFundMe to sue that individual in Barley, funny, I didn't even know what Waybacker was until somebody told me it was Barley. I would be first up front and to make a contribution to that, because nobody deserves to be treated like that. I personally do not eat blackfish, but I know Bermudans who've been to St. Vincent and they raved about this blackfish and so on. You know, and I'll go through this. There's a book by, can't remember the guy's name, but he wrote the book To Kill a Mockingbird. That is what that individual is doing to the people of Barley. Not just to the people of Barley, but to all Vincentians. Something needs to be done. She needs to pay. When I say pay, I mean like pay if she has to be reduced to nothing. Do it, because that is definitely taking advantage of folks. So I hope folks like Joe Thomas and the others would step up and defend the people of Barley, because that's I live here, but I live in Bermuda, but I'm still very much a part of St. Vincent, and that's a part of my heritage, and no one deserves to be treated like that. Mm-hmm. Anita, as I said to you, I'm not going to sign any papers, okay, because I'm not guilty. Have a great day.
All right, bye, Joshua. All right, so, okay, we have another caller. Hi, caller, good morning.
Good morning, lady.
Good morning. I have something to tell Kingsley. I respect his views. I respect it. But I differ from that. I want to ask Kingsley, would he choose a candidate who cannot tell you, come on, ready, tell you about cricket, but cannot tell you about all the crimes we're gone in St. Vincent and Grenadines, which Ralph, is Minister of National Security. Look at, we have a prison officer, and that some other prison officer take gun and kill somebody when serving sentencing his soul rest in peace, is Splinters. We killed the man, and we have Otis Ryan in 2002, where he died by hands of the police, and so many crimes. But he cannot come on radio and make a contribution about that as Minister of National Security. So I want to ask Kingsley, would he choose a man like that for next general election? Well, that's his. I respect his view, but this is my view. Understand? So I want he must come and say something about the crime by Minister of National Security tomorrow or whenever. So I have to run. Enjoy the ladies.
You too. All right. So I what I gather from that last caller though, when we're voting for people, do we vote for just one thing that might be outstanding to us, or do we vote based on a collective of things that they may have done that we are happy with and would like to see them either back in power or in power itself? And talking about power, just to know that coming up at 10, we'll be conducting an interview with Senator Chevron John, all right? NDP's representative for the North Windward seat. So, yeah. All right. So, Dianna?
Yeah, good morning. Just want to say good morning to some persons who've messaged us on the WhatsApp. So, Trevor, good morning to you. Good morning to Jacqueline as well. Yes, I think that is it there, and as well as Owen. It's so good to be back. I feel, I really missed being here, so it's good to be back here this morning. Unfortunately, Kingsley, I did not look at the Prime Minister's speech last night. I listened to the Minister of Tourism, well, part of it. While that launch was going on, I was actually looking at your program, Kingsley, so I have not yet gone to listen to what the Prime Minister said about, in his speech.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So while we're talking cricket and all things in one, I know that on Monday we started commentary about playing politics, and I was on the PM's, kind of on the PM's case, right, about it. And yesterday I had to chuckle. So I tell you, I don't pick sides. I had to chuckle when I read something on St. Vincent Times where the CWI president, which in this case is Keisha Shallow, blames CARICOM governments after West Indies defeat by Australia. Now, I had a good chuckle with it, right? Because I'm there saying, but how the governments get involved in this? So Dr. Shallow was making mention of CARICOM governments, including St. Vincent and others, are simply not building out the necessary infrastructure to produce the next generation of West Indies cricketers. All right. He declared, though he notably praised St. Lucia for its commitment to cricket development. And he's saying the numbers tell a story of complete batting collapse that will haunt West Indies cricket for generations and so forth. Right now, when I read this, the first question that came to my mind is that, all right, so yes, governments are responsible for building out infrastructure. The Ministry of Sports, they're supposed to be there to either provide, let's say, scholarships, improve training grounds, provide coaches, ensure that persons are properly trained, etc. But from the standpoint of Cricket West Indies itself, the first question that came to me is, what exactly do they do to advance cricket within the country? Now, as I said, my first disclaimer when it comes to this thing is that I don't know a whole lot about cricket. And something as simple as me knowing, well, what is it that Cricket West Indies does on the ground here? If it is happening, it is not very visible. At least it has not made its way to a newspaper article or some sort of article for me to actually read about it. All right. So when and this is the thing that I find that is happening. And why I keep saying it's a back and forth between Dr. Shallow and Dr. Gonsalves, because it's like one person is deflecting or one person is throwing blame against the other person. And I am not sure that if I can agree with Dr. Shallow in this case to blame CARICOM government wholesale or some of the governments within CARICOM wholesale for the collapse of West Indies, because this has been going on for a very long time. We constantly hear of persons complaining and commenting about how West Indies it's losing its glory days. Even this morning in reading the news, Dr. Shallow said that they're going to be calling an emergency meeting with some of the greats to find out what is happening or what can be done. So when it is that you come to deflecting and trying to pass blame onto somebody else, I cannot be in agreement with that, right? And again, like I said on Monday, playing politics with sports, I just don't wholeheartedly accept that this could possibly, totally, entirely be the fault of the governments within CARICOM. All right, I see that we have. All right.
Hi, caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning.
Morning.
Dianna, Roleza.
Go right ahead, morning. We good. And you?
I'm all right. I'm totally agree with you. You're on point. Cricket West Indies does not have a clear program that they could say that they could give or present to the Caribbean government. If he know his history, where cricket came from, is the same Caribbean government that was in all the time that the great Garfield Sobers and Viv Richards, etc. Brian Lara came from. Many of these islands have their own little academy where they train youngsters and all kind of things like that. So I don't know where he coming from with that. Politics was always in cricket. If you go back in the days of colonialism, for example, the St. Vincent team was all white. Very, very, very rare you had somebody black who could have made the team, the St. Vincent team when they was playing the Windward Island cricket and the Leeward Island cricket before they merged as combined islands. So there's no difference in the system. It's only that the culture has changed in terms of generation. They emerge to different things as recreation. We grew up playing cricket in the street and all them kind of things. You don't find that anymore. So what they have to do is like Cricket West Indies have come up with a program and say to the Caribbean government, this is what we want to try or something like that. If you understand.
Yeah, I do. Because
politics was always in cricket because the Europeans is the one who the sport belonged to, and we would discriminate for a very long time in cricket, but it's our natural ability that get us there. So there was always politics, because if you look back at the small islands versus the bigger islands and all them kind of thing, we were discriminated politically, culturally way back in the days, and we still survive. So it was always politics.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just saw like how I know people always say there was always politics, or politics always involved in things. But I find that as time goes by, we need to evolve in how we say things or how we put forward things. And then the divisive politics is what gets me. And that's why I keep talking about the back and forth between Dr. Shallow and Dr. Gonzalez, because
I will give you an example. I'll give you an example. Now, the West Indies women cricket was held there in St. Vincent, right? Just recently gone. Imagine they the West Indies, they have the presentation when the closing. And they did not even invite the Minister of Sports to the closing ceremony, the presentation. And I was talking about West Indies. I don't want to say the president, you understand? But that was disrespectful right in your own country. The facilities belong to the government. And when you're doing a presentation of that major West Indies cricket, you have to invite the host country officials.
Yeah. All right.
So politics all over the place. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Personal. My problem with it, I don't mind politics, but they'll take it too personal.
Okay. All right. All right. Thanks for calling this morning. All right. All right. So we are going to head on out. And before I know how some people like to, say things, let me just note that if we're talking about West Indies, CWI developing cricket, and if you're going to tell me that I didn't read the news or whatever, yes, I know that Cricket West Indies, they struck a historic 10-year deal with a Caribbean cage. And what the PM spoke about, this is a lottery initiative, and the funds that they're supposed to garner from this is to be used to develop cricketing facilities, etc., within the region. All right, so I am reading this from St. Vincent Times. This is an article from last year, December the 19th of December, 2024. So the deal that they struck, the idea of it is to result in expansive planning and collaboration, and expected to generate nearly US $100 million for regional cricket development and secure the future of West Indies cricket. All right. So maybe it's a case where now they're putting things in place from this particular lottery. The funds or the monies generated are going to trickle down and be spread out evenly to develop cricket more. But as it stands right now, blaming the governments, I don't agree with. All right. So yeah. And with that, we are heading on out of this segment. It is 8:05, and at